So I had several people ask me about getting tails out of critters. When I first started, I used to skin these things all the way out, and you can do that just by working your knife down and slowly skinning them out. But if you can get where you're using a tail stripper, it goes a lot faster. This is a plastic one, which I hate. I used to have a really nice metal one, which I can't find, but this will work. It's just not as good. And then a tail zipper, which is basically splits your tail once it's out. You can also just use the knife. It works too. But anyway, that's all you really need. So this is a raccoon. Obviously, I've got it pulled down just basically to the base of the tail. So as I come in on the sides, I'm just going to open up in behind the tail, freeing it up at the base. And you can kind of keep working it down. Once I get to where I'm almost through, I'm going to come back in over the top and split it. And that'll give me a little bit more hide to work with. And depending on the size of the coon, or whatever critter, this would be the same for a coyote, or I guess a little bit, to a certain extent, on bobcats and other tailed critters. You split it down, 5-6 inches. The bigger the animal or the bigger the tail, the farther you got to go. And then basically I'm just going to free up the tail from underneath, come down both sides, and in all the way to the back. Once you do a lot of these, you'll do this a lot quicker with just your hands, but this is one of those things, like I said, I struggled with quite a bit when I first started. So once you get it started, you can kind of use your force of pushing down on the hide and pulling back on the tailbone, and that'll get you down to where you've basically already got your line cut down. So your tail stripper will come in next. Like I said, if you can, buy the metal ones. These things they work, but they're a lot harder on your hands. So what I found is that when I first was doing this, I was squeezing really tight down on my tail, and what was happening is I was putting so much pressure here that I couldn't actually slide my tail out, and then I was pulling away from the animal, which a lot of times I ended up tearing the tail off. And what I found is leaving this a little bit more open, and then grabbing the tail, so I'm pulling down and pushing the tail away. And then usually, this might go a little bit out of focus, I use my body weight for the pull, lifting up with my other arm. So just with that much force, it just comes right out. And from there, your tail's free. The next piece comes in is the tail stripper, or zipper, I guess, and that goes right down to the bottom. And if you end up with any little ends of your tail, they'll come out with that. So anyway, that's all done, and a lot quicker than skinning them all the way to the very tip by hand. So hope it helps. As always, thanks for watching. Have a good one.